Just a minute. Yeah. You might now be able to do that.
Let me try it.
Yeah. So everyone who's watching on recording, I thought you will be here and we would have a great session, but you opted to choose the recorded session. So it's not just you who will be missing out on fun, it will be us as well who will be missing out on fun. ये मुझे ग्रीन कलर का भेजा है आपने.
Oh, okay, wait.
But it's the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Content तो same है.
Wait, let me share the green one only.
और क्या ग्राउंड रूल्स हम लोग भूल ही गए यार, क्या है ये. आगे पाठ पीछे सपाट. Yeah, read it for us, please. Also, did you go through their page and understand how they have been writing?
Yeah, I tried to understand and I tried to copy the style a little.
So first read it, then I have few things.
I will read it out.
Yeah, please.
So, want to turn your free time into something productive? Then UAs for you.
With
Channel
the
your.
headline, no?
Huh?
The headline as well.
Okay. Start your internship with UA. Want to turn your free time into something productive? Then UAs for you. Channel your teenage enthusiasm, passion, and time into something productive. Learn practical skills and gain hands-on experience from a variety of opportunities like video editing, copywriting, or graphic designing. Sign up now.
So first thing, why the green color?
Because I thought it matched with the logo, that the picture in the middle a little bit.
Okay. And when you were going through the brand, did you see anything that they have specifically the color that they have been using?
Yeah, it was mostly purplish.
So green altogether gives a different identity. Green is not that brand's color, right? And this is not a new brand, so we'll have to stick to what brand has been building upon.
Okay. So I should have used the purple color only.
First thing is color. Yeah. First thing, were you there in the guest session?
No, I was not there, but I watched the recording.
Um, but क्या हो गया, स्नेहा हाथ क्यों जोड़ रही है यार. मेरी
The
पूजा वूजा
other
कर रही
was Gani. They're shouting at the back.
है. अच्छा.
Shouting.
लगा पता नहीं मेरी कोई पूजा वूजा करने
कुछ
लग
नहीं
गई क्या,
सुनाई
वो
दे रहा.
मंत्र मंत्र क्या हो गया. जस्ट अ मिनट. हाँ, हेलो. अरे बधाई हो भाई, थैंक यू. लॉक कर दिया. या हाँ. ठीक है, ठीक है। इतना कम? चल ठीक। हम्म। ठीक, ठीक है, ठीक है। Yeah. So the first thing is the color that we need to understand is color. आपने अगर recording भी देखा होगा तो is everyone eating dinner or not in a properly dressed that they cannot open up the camera?
I just joined, so sorry. I'm a little late.
It's okay.
Actually, I can't turn on my camera. I'm not at my home. I'm outside. I'm in the car.
So unless you are driving, you are not driving, you can open up the camera, no?
Oh yeah, I just
Whatever
reached
it
home.
is, it's okay. I mean, now it has been long sessions. But see, the thing is, Kriti, we were going through this. Also, when you read your content, you see the letters want to turn your free time into something productive, and then after the question mark, it's small letter, then C is small, and L is small after the sentence break, and later you have used capital letters for video editing, copywriting, graphic, and then designing D. So this altogether makes my reader journey a little less interesting. Also, you need to have we understood about the anatomy of an ad, right? That it should have a head, then the shoulders, then the heart, and then the legs. So the shoulders here are a little weak. I mean, it's just another line. Start your internship with UA. This also means that UA is giving internships, whereas UA is a platform for you to have internships, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we went. If you see the session breakdown, the first was we learning about the anatomy of an ad. We watched a few ads and then we understood what copywriting is. Then we went on to uh, discovering different things about copywriting, getting more intense into it, which was after you've done this thing, you talk about tagline. And after the tagline, we actually talked about the purpose, the golden circle of what, how, and why. And then we understood the difference between observation and insight. So we have been getting in depth of it. We did wiring, rewiring, where we were understanding, how do we implement different ideas. How do we wire the ideas? How do we rewire our ideas? So think more on those terms and mm, make that insight map and start to do more often the insight maps. Today's session is a net practice thing. It's about crafting copy. You can now like stop sharing the screen as well, Kriti. But you understood, you got my point, right, Kriti? Since you just
Yeah, yeah.
and I wanted to give out my thought on this. I thought,
Actually, I made it very hastily. I'll make it again and submit it within a few days.
yeah, but see how you can, because you are of that age as well. So as a teenager also, you can see how you can ask people to get time out of their busy schedule, because you are also a person who is in school or in college. You see how your days scheduled, or your days gets divided into classes, curricular activities, using phones and everything. So make them feel that they have a great thing. The cliched line can also work here. The cliched line, वो minutes वाली कौन सी है, दिन में इतने minutes होते हैं. There's a line, no? बहुत have you all came into that zone of self motivation or motivation, और अभी जो चल रहा है बस चल रहा है वैसे वाली जगह पे?
What do you mean?
I mean, there is a time, there is a phase in your life where you're very motivated. You are self motivated basically about everything, and your content feed is also in such that you get motivated content only.
I luckily had that phase of mine in the 10th standard. That's why I guess I went past through it. Like every day I used to wake up at like 5 o'clock and then the grind mindset and all that.
Yeah. So did you go through a lot of content around that period?
Yeah, all my feed was just about like escape the rat race and all that. Now I'm all out of that and now I'm a little setback again. But 11th standard, okay.
Yeah,
But
the content where they say become the best version of yourself.
yeah, beat yourself. You are your worst enemy and all.
Yeah. So when I was in that phase, I used to get this idea in different ways. The idea of you have 24 hours, which are 100 one 1440 minutes in a day, into 60 would be 86,400 seconds. So you have these many seconds in a day. And if and they used to connect it to the currency. Like if you had 86,400 rupees every day, and if you did not use them, they'll just go in vain, and they'll just be dumbed out, and you will have fresh account with the same balance. And how will you use it? So that can also be an idea, that can also be an insight to grab the attention here, but in a way which is not cliched again, because people will recognize the cliche. Okay, anybody else did the assignment? See, Kriti, you were talking about being free. मुझे पता था ना कोई.
I thought I did a very bad job, but
You at least did a
at
job.
least did.
That's what I am happy about. Nobody else did, really. Oh boy.
So
See, huh?
half yearly चल रहे हैं.
Nice. Nice.
Does it have to be like made up because I don't get my laptop except for like this time when I'm doing live classes? So I
No,
can't do anything with it.
when we were talking about the idea in the last session, it was not about making an ad. Possibly the first instance would be to write it down, to give me a proper ad, not just the idea. I don't want to listen the idea. I want to see ad. I want to read an ad. Neil, you also. Did not get the time, right?
I have my exams on, but yeah, I'm not gonna put it as a reason. I'll do it and send it.
Oh, okay.
So
I
I'm
thought,
working on it right now. I'm working on
no,
it right
don't
now.
work on that right now. Um, Today's net practice, or as I submitted the title for this particular session, was crafting copy. So it was about crafting copy, and I was to share with you different thoughts, and on your thoughts maybe I would have written some copy sets or some insights for you. I don't know now how do I get into the session, because I have my own insights. I wanted to. Oof. Okay. Anyway, choice. Let me share a doc link with you. So net practice मुझे लगता है बहुत जल्दी हो जाएगी. I will give you a bonus thing in today's session, which will be about storytelling, because every ad you see is a story. Every ad that you read is a story. Every idea that you pitch needs to have a story. So the story is the hero, and sharing that story, the person who is sharing that story is the copywriter. So let me just share the screen and the link with you guys. See, every day the business will be there, but if you are committed to something, you need to commit to something. um I have sent the link in the chat, and so we can either go about the Lenskart Plants Guru or Yuva thing, or we could try a new brand for practicing, for writing copy pieces. What's your suggestion, guys? Come on. The last assignment insights you want, or you want to write copy for new brand?
Insights.
Okay. Kriti, Sneha?
Yeah, I also think I would like insights.
Cool. अब स्नेहा क्या करेगी बिना मेजॉरिटी के? But still, Sneha, you have something to add?
Because I cannot be clear of a few things. There's things.
So let's do the insights thing. We all know Lenskart at least, right? And we have to make some insights for the Lenskart. So let's start driving the machine. I'll also think while I write. I'll share the screen so that we all are on the same page. Now take up all the things that you have about Lenskart ever. We did write a few things in our last session where Kriti and Sneha were there. We did write few things. We did write a couple of copy pieces for that. But let's go deeper. I'll share the last times that we were writing. No, let's give the fresh start only. So this is lens card inside writing. Let's go. So you remember the table? Should I pull it up?
Which table are you talking about?
Inside table. भूल गए ना? भगवान है कहाँ रे तू?
Wait, the golden circle one or the previous one? उसका पहले.
The next one after the golden circle, the inside condition.
It's like define the product and then benefit of the product. What does that benefit give you, and then what does that 5 step one, right?
Yes.
I remember. The first one is it's the description of the product. Define the product, and then next is like what is. I think it was a benefit, product benefit.
Your voice is a little not clear. I feel.
Uh, was it the product benefit?
I'll try. And the other sheet is
I don't know. और किसी को मतलब it was not clear to me. But कुछ कुछ तो टेबल के एलिमेंट सही कहे थे. I'm coming back to the window there. I'm not there right now. It's define the product. Next was product benefit. Yes. I'll share with you guys. अरे यार बहुत ठंडा माहौल है यार. This was the table. I have a pause. You define the product feature, then you write what is the product benefit, then you write what happens with this benefit, and with the benefit you wrote, you write what happens when this happens, and then you find an insight. So let's say I was to write for lens cart. What would I do? What's the feature? Define the product feature. Am I audible?
yes, sir.
So what's up? The product feature.
It produces
Oh, was it my? I cannot hear you, Kriti.
Even I can't hear. So what was the product?
Lens card.
It's the app or it can be the anti-glare collection of
Anything. There are different features for a product.
anti-glare.
Okay. So I write the feature as anti-glare. Product feature anti-glare. Okay. What is the benefit of that anti-glare?
It doesn't strain your eye.
Anti-glare. Okay. It doesn't strain your eyes. Okay, great. What benefit, like what happens when your eyes are not hurt or strained?
you can work on the computer for a longer duration.
Okay, perfect. What happens when you work longer for longer durations on computer?
Increase productivity.
Sorry?
Increase productivity or get that one thing done that you have been postponing because your eyes.
Go a little deeper. I like the idea of it's not just one thing. If it is about doing the one thing, then you don't need anti glare. वो तो एक बार में हो जाएगा. Go broad. Like you can sit in front of the screen for longer hours. Now broad. What happens when I am sitting in front of the screen for longer hours? सोचो थोड़ा सा डालो दिमाग पे घुटने पे जोर. When I sit in front of the screen for longer hours without any strain, what will happen?
Make online friends.
Sorry?
Make online friends.
Make online friends. That's what you're saying, right? Okay. Hmm. To get it broad and combine three things that you said, getting work done, productive, and making connections on network club together, I would be able to create more content and at the same time be productive. If I'll be able, if my eyes were not strained, I would be sitting in front of the screen for longer hours. And when I'll be sitting in front of the screen for long hours, I will create more content and also network with a lot of people. What's the insight? I get those. हाँ बताओ, आप लोग बताओ insights. क्या insight निकल के आती है इन सब से? क्या होगा? मतलब ये हमारे पास अब दो बेनिफिट, एक बेनिफिट से क्या क्या हो सकता है वो आ गया. अब उसको रियल लाइफ में इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करने जाओगे तो क्या हो सकता है?
Our social life becomes better and productivity in general increases.
Can be one thing. But while we were writing the fourth point, where we were creating and making online friends, were we not communicating the thing that you detach from the physical world, the real friends? Let's keep it. Let's keep it the way we are going. Okay, Kriti has one insight, which is, can you repeat, Kriti?
I told two actually, and both were repeated. I told our social life becomes better and productivity in general increases.
Okay, so ये क्या हुआ? अरे कैप्शंस किसने चालू करे? So social life increases or becomes better, and the second one was, uh, can you repeat, Kriti?
Productivity increases.
Okay, increased productivity. Okay, and anything more? वैशाखा, आप भी बीच में से आते जाते कुछ शेयर कर सकते हो.
Okay, sir.
और क्या इंसाइट आ सकती
Lobbying
है?
made easy.
सॉरी,
Lobbying made easy. Lobbying made easier.
I didn't get you.
Lobbying made easier.
Lobbying.
Lobbying. I type it.
Yeah, type it down on the chat. हाँ, लॉबिंग ही तो बोला था मैंने. ओके, और क्या हो सकता है? ह्यूमन बिहेवियरल पैटर्न से अब इसको जोड़ने की कोशिश करो. अगर आपको कभी ये करने को मिल जाए विदाउट द स्ट्रेन्स ऑन योर आईज और विदाउट एनी रिस्ट्रिक्शन, व्हाट वुड यू डू?
I can only think of negative human behavioral impacts.
कोई बात नहीं, बताओ बताओ.
So, like, we disconnect from the real world if we sit in front of the screen for too long.
ओके,
But this is a negative impact, right? So,
आने दो ना. वी आर डंपिंग सो दैट वी गेट डिफरेंट आइडियाज.
They get to play games for long.
ठीक है.
And it
also,
might like
हम्म.
tell. Sneha should tell.
and I guess also like to the introvert peoples, right? Who can't actually connect with people IRL. They can now, easily connect with people without straining their accent and all those things.
So more, without revealing identity, they can talk to more people. What you were saying, Kriti?
I was saying one more negative impact will be that it will be bad for our physical health because physical exercise is very important. And if we
Okay,
sit in front of the screen for too long, then our physical health might deteriorate.
okay, okay. These are 7 things that you shared right now. I've typed it and shared it in the chat. Now think, what would be a great insight? Social life becomes better. Okay. Increased productivity. Okay. Lobbying made easier. Okay. Disconnecting from the real world. Okay. Play games for a long time. Okay. Without revealing identity, they can connect to more people. Okay. Bad for physical health. Okay. How would, if I write an insight which is I'll not be able to strain, I'll be able to do a lot of things. And an insight could be another behavior. My eyes won't be wet. And then this is an insight. I'll not have to wash my eyes, is an insight. My eyes won't get dry again, because when you sit in front of the screen for long hours, there is a study. So now the research part comes. There is a study which tells that the longer you sit in front of the screen, you don't blink your eye enough. So when you don't blink your eye enough, like in general, when you see you are not in front of the screen, you will observe that you blink very frequently. But when you're in front of the screen, for some reason, our brain is active and our brain is working and telling the eye that, there might be something that will get missed out. So out of that fear, our eyes are less frequently blinked. So my eyes would get dry. और आई वुड से आपके घर में जो भी होंगे बड़े, वो बोलते होंगे अरे ज्यादा देर सामने बैठ रहे, जाओ आंखें धो कर आओ, आंख में पानी डाल कर आओ. Does that happen? So that's an insight. See, when you build on it, you can then write an ad saying, I saved a mug full of water just by anti-glaring. That could be a copy. So the insight was, I'll have to wash my eyes less. And these are the benefits. So sometimes insight is driven through the dots that we have been making. Also, in the 7 things, we wrote 7 things, thala, for a reason. From these 7 points, we can also jumble up things and say that our socially, our so the another thing would be, I'll get 1760 things done and also have 50,000 followers, right? From like social life becoming better, productivity, and also being in front of the screen for long time, I came with an insight. और ये हिंदी में स्लैंग है 1760. एटलीस्ट इंदौर में तो चलता है 1760 काम करना है तेरे को, मेरे पास 1760 काम है. To over exaggerate and say that I have a lot of things, so I'll get 1760 things done and also have 50,000 followers. This is an insight. And when you build on it, you can visualize, like I can visualize it in my mind. I did not draw it because I thought we will come together, do a lot of things. But when you visualize it, I visualize it as a person sitting and just thinking of having, like, just an image where a person is thinking and dreaming of something, of getting the to-do list done, getting 50,000 followers or 10,000 followers or their creator journey started. And then I'll just write, what's stopping you? And this text would be behind a glass where one will be glared and one will not be glared. Or I could just say, don't glare on your thoughts, rather envision them and work for them. Or just the first line, don't glare on your dreams. That makes sense? Ah, na.
Yes, sir. It does. It was very nice, actually. I cannot visualize anything really, but that you gave one was really nice.
Yeah, that's why I called Shreyash to help us visualize, because that's important. Now it could be done in the other way as well. Now the product benefit and the product feature remains the same. Anti-glare and the product feature is that it helps you sit in front of the screen for a long time. What happens if I don't have an anti-glare? What happens when I don't have an anti-glare?
Your eyesight might get bad.
Hmm. Or, okay, eyesight might get, complete the sentence.
Bad. Like
What will happen if my eyesight gets bad?
We have to consult a doctor and we'll stop using the device.
You'll have to consult a doctor and stop and give up on your uh, social media and everything on your device. Now, what can be an insight here?
uh, something. I can't frame it, but like something along the lines that save your money. You don't have to go to a doctor. You don't have to pay a doctor the fees. You just give up on your dreams. Things along the lines. Try and feel.
Save the money. Second was don't give up on your dream, right? Okay. Or let me write the same thing on that document only, no? Then we will have an idea what we are writing. Save up the money, give up on your dream. और क्या इंसाइट आ सकती है इसमें? जब हम एंटी ग्लेयर नहीं पहन रहे तो हमारी आंखें खराब हो रही है, हमारी आंखें खराब हो रही है, तो वी विल हैव टू गो टू द डॉक्टर एंड reduce our screen time. What more can we
Be
do?
able to those movies or series that you so desperately wanna, finish in your bucket list.
Okay. Most favorite series array slash movie won't be visible to you. ये अमेरिकन और ये वाला इंग्लिश है ना, खेल करके छोड़ेंगे. ओके, व्हाट नेक्स्ट?
You can also go into stock exchange being like now you won't be able to invest or watch over your stocks and trade on them or in them that frequently because your eyes hurt too much. Or you might miss the minor dates. But
This is an insight. You will miss out on minor details. An insight can also be miss out on minor details. An insight can also be won't be able to see the red flags. So the insight is not a copy piece. It's not a copy. It's an unbuilt idea. But it's that Dhruv Tara which is guiding you in certain direction. So when we say you will miss out on minor details, I can easily. What do you visualize when you say missing out on minor details?
a girl like being like this or a person being like this, and then
Hmm.
there's the screen with like little minute, work done, and she's like trying so hard. So on.
Yeah, amazing. What
Or
do you
she can
visual?
be with my magnifying glass.
Sorry, magnifying glass. Okay, yeah. Kriti, what do you imagine? कुछ तो आ रहा होगा सोचने में missing out on minor details or missing out on details as well.
I think the magnifying glass one is good.
Yeah,
I cannot think of anything by myself, but the magnifying glass one I think is good.
क्यों नहीं सोचो ना.
Actually, it's यहाँ पे बहुत बिजली कड़क रहा है तो my internet is also disconnected repeatedly. I'm not being able to hear only the entire thing.
अच्छा अच्छा अच्छा. Okay, but you can anytime stop when you have good connection and you want to catch up on the current point that we will be on. You can share. Yes, Neha, you were saying something. Okay, so I also go on.
I was discussing with Tanvi that this keeps on turning off and on, so even I'm getting disconnected, and how we are having this.
What I can vision is um a person writing wrong check, like filling up, entering a comma after the digit. So that person was supposed to give 10,000 but accidentally gave extra zero because it was not a clear thing. 10,000 की जगह 1 लाख दे दिया उसने. Signed a wrong check. Or you signed on wrong documents.
Or it could be like you missed that star,
Ah, asterisk.
you missed that star. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
You missed
that
the terms
is
and
the whole.
conditions.
Yeah, you missed the term condition because that has all the plot twist in it, doesn't it?
Yes, yes. Yes, Neil.
I was not in the session, but I don't know if you discussed on this point. It could be something like the sportsman or someone like that who is not able to play his game properly, and then he's like on the Indian team and all that, but because of the eyesight problem and not having the particular um, availability of specs and all, he has to get let go of his dreams and all.
That is a very specific thing, right? That will again be targeted to a very specific target audience. Think a little broader, Neil. Because how many people for at first only when you go when you think of becoming a sports person, I think that might be coming out from a personal experience that you might have also I had. बचपने में
Yeah.
ही वो हो जाता है. But that bacha will not be buying. So your broader audience would be, don't let your dreams get blurred for your child. Don't let your child's dream get blurred with glares.
Yeah, that's a better way to target the right audience actually.
So always think broad. So these are two ways to do insight mapping. Was it good enough? ऐसा खोपड़ी में न्यूरॉन्स फिर से छूटना शुरू हुए.
So, a core point in the benefit of like having anti-glares is that now that you have a good eyesight, you can glare at people that's judging you, but
Hmm.
with sight.
Hmm. Hmm. So some things might be fact. Just as save up the money is not an insight; it's a fact. If you will not have to visit the doctor, you will save up on money. So it's kind of a fact, right? But and again, most favorite series movies won't be visible to you. Again, a fact. But when we talk about giving up on dreams, that's something when a person is serious about, like what Neil was sharing. Missing out on minor details, what you were sharing, Sneha Kriti, that's important. क्योंकि वो छोटी छोटी चीजें, आज कौन सा पेपर है अगर याद नहीं है और मैं गलत, किसी ने कुछ बोल दिया, कल मैं एग्जाम देने जा रहा हूँ, किसी ने एग्जाम गेट पे मुझे बोल दिया दैट टुडे इज मैथ्स पेपर, नो नॉट केमिस्ट्री पेपर, my mind would be, oh shit, did I miss out on that thing? How can I do that? And like won't be able to see the red flags would be a major target. Like the asterisk thing is a red flag, the terms and conditions. So in this way, you can take up any brand, you can take one feature of it, talk about how it benefits to people, what, and then you find out, you see, for anti-glare, we had one positive insight, and the second one, a negative approach to, not negative, but an anti approach to anti-glare. If you don't have anti-glare, what will happen to you? And under that also, we had 3-4 different insights. So if you sit for 15-20 minutes, you'll be able to crack a lot of insights. You just have to be sincere enough. When you sit there, you talk to yourself and you give yourself 15-20 minutes. Now, wow, you're saying something, Sneha?
I was how do we differentiate being at a fact or an insight? Like we do get a lot of ideas, but then I don't, you know, I'm I can't differentiate. Oh, this is an insight. I know this is not an insight.
देखो, फैक्ट मेजरली आपको समझ आ जाएगा कि हाँ ये तो होता ही है, दिस इज समथिंग विच हैपेंस, बट व्हेन यू लैंड ऑन एन इनसाइट, योर spidey senses would say that yeah, this is a fact but related to a pattern, a behavior, an emotion. Facts are facts. Saving money is no emotion, but giving up on dreams is. Now dream can be to become millionaire, billionaire, can be to have Porsche GT3 RS, which is about money, can be to become a sports person, it can be to become a great researcher on the nerves, the optical nerves. It can be anything. So the dream, if you go and break down, like give up on your dream, is on the cusp of becoming an insight. When you understand it, like you talk about a certain thing and you see it making your spidey sense tingle. There's no formula to it. But when you read it out loud, that's why I said dump it out. Whatever thoughts you're having, dump them out, write them out, then read them aloud, and then listen and see, like, is it something which is factual, which will actually happen to happen, right? And the other thing which you're reading, is it fact but with something that has some behavioral pattern or emotion or some nerves attached to it?
So like it's like glaring at people, you know, those judgmental people or those annoying people with like without straining your eyes.
Sorry,
Then
sorry.
basically like glare at those judgmental people with uh without straining your eyes with the empty glare. Is it like
Can happen, but you have to go a little deeper into this thing, because I see it from different perspective, but you have to build on this idea first. This is this is at the doorstep of an idea. So enter this idea, कुछ कुछ scribble करके try करो, and then give us a line which we can at least imagine on. जैसे ये सारी lines अभी अपन ने लिखी, We can imagine on these lines. So the second part, this is pretty much it about Inside. I wanted you to write more about Uber trains. So Uber, you guys don't know by your expressions, Neha. I get it.
Uber what?
Uber trains.
No, you're joking. Is it the
Okay,
same?
I
let me.
train under government only.
You can book train tickets on Uber.
Oh,
So
okay,
this,
that.
yeah, Uber trains. You book train tickets on Uber, not something that Uber has bought a train and it's running.
I actually got that.
And that's too far-fetched of a dream. But
I
that's
mean,
great, being creative.
government has privatized it, right? It's public
Sorry,
sector. It's under public sector. Trains.
sorry.
When you told Uber trains, my mind immediately went to eco that we're learning how the railway sector is under government only, it's not privatized.
I'm not here to talk about policies and other things. I'm here just to talk about advertisements. Now,
Also, one more thing.
yeah, yeah.
In general glasses, right? In Lenskart glasses, you don't get those
Hmm.
bubbles. So can it be like dimples are cute but not on nose? And then you see a person smiling, having big dimples, and then
Yeah,
this is a like
makes sense. Makes sense, but you have to present it in a more clean way. मतलब अभी बहुत सारी चीजों पे फोकस हो जाएगा और फिर आपको फेस वैसा चाहिए रहेगा तो
face
बिल्ड ऑन दिस
whatever
आइडिया
dimple. Because I did like scribble something out and then I was like, let's just share it.
that's a nice idea. You need to build on it. Like again, it's on the gateway, like it's just on the doorstep. Also think कि कितना आप इसको और broad कर सकते हो. This is a great idea. Build on it, Sneha. I'm not saying don't build on it, but see how many people actually get dimples. If you want to talk about dimples, talk about how a person is attracted or aspired towards dimples. You can also build on this thought as well. Build on your thought and build on this thought as well. Now let's watch the Uber train ad. I mean, I did not know you guys don't know about Uber trains.
Hiya.
Hi.
Thanks for waiting. Hiya.
Array.
Hiya.
Hi.
Thanks for waiting. I'm Gina.
Hi, Gina.
So I'll just jump in then, shall I?
Okay.
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry, this is my one.
Trains, now on Uber.
This is again a great ad. I'll share the screen this morning.
Hi, pick up for Mark going to Portsmouth?
This is going to Portsmouth, yeah?
You can drop me anywhere near the station.
Well, drop you at the station.
Perfect. Just one more coming and then we're ready to go.
All right.
Hey. Ready?
Trains, now on Uber.
You see, how did they build on the concept and the insight, built the whole idea, and came up with the ad. These are human behaviors, yeah, right? When you go on a taxi, you're like, अरे अरे मेरा ऑटो है कहाँ चढ़ रहा है मेरी टैक्सी है कहाँ चढ़ रही है when you're like अरे just a minute my friend is coming just a minute बताता हूँ ओटीपी बताता हूँ देता हूँ आपको राइड शुरू करते हैं अपन talking that insight taking that insight and talking about it in terms of trains that's Uber trains now I don't see a lot of enthusiasm यार here अगर होता तो मैं जरूर Uber ट्रेन्स को पकड़ता अभी और आप लोग के लिए हम लोग लिखते कुछ कुछ um but anyway let's talk about the or would you be able to write let it be we will quickly join into the next session in the next session we'll be talking about how we pitch an idea to a brand a manager or your cousin who is next door having a business how do you get around with an idea and pitch it to them but before that one thing which is important is to write a story about anything and I'm talking to you about the storytelling I wish Neha was also here but the storytelling part is important because recently today only I was consulting a brand a jewelry brand they want to start their journey and they have few regions defined for their brand they want to start it out and they just want to go on performance marketing now in my consultation I did not I strongly said no to their performance marketing I said no I cannot give it to you I cannot go about you and make people buy stuff from you just because of a simple reason that you have not become a brand. Why? What comes to your mind when I say you have not become a brand and you cannot do performance marketing? Performance marketing is majorly when you run ads, when you make landing pages, and it's more than perform or like ads, but you get direct driven results. So I said them no because it's not a brand yet. If you pick any brand, you will see one thing. Every brand has a story. Every brand has a story, has a starting point, has a very turning point, has a very downfall point. They have a story. Every struggle is addition to the story, but the baseline remains the same. So the brand, if a business wants to become a brand, the whole thing depends on how they are branding themselves. And the journey starts from the logo, the colors, the font, adds, brand story, and then talks to people in that way. If you have not a defined brand story, you do not have a clear understanding on what your influencers that you are collaborating with will be talking about. You don't have an idea where to actually put yourself in a flea market or in a poster or a paper ad. So storytelling is a broad aspect. You can have different things assigned to it. But first thing in storytelling is you need to read stories. You need to read poems. If you need to read shairis. Why? Because just for the sake of having more words to your vocabulary, and not words which are heavy on the diet, but words which are light on the mind. If in this conversation I start talking in my Shashi Tharoor phase or style, that doesn't work out, because I have to cater to everybody, right? Not just someone who is well versed in English, but my content writing course where there are a lot of people from different backgrounds. I need to cater to every one of them. So my Shashi Tharoor English will not work. But this normal English, which is being spoken or heard by everyone, is okay. So that's why we need to read stories. In every story you see, and you will see an analogy that is going into it, or you will see some points which relate to your life, and that's where the second link happens. You find you find how you make the relatability happen. Why? Because your relatability will build on the interest of the people. If I just say that I go to school by my cycle, and one day my cycle's tire got punctured, and it was just around the corner where my crush's house was, and I was so nervous. That's just one thing, right? I'm sharing just my thought. But when I started and say we all have crushes, you know how we do things around them, how silly you can be around them, and how time actually pulls you out and throws you in awkward situations in front of your crushes or our crushes. In the same way, one fine day, my cycle's tire got punctured around the corner of my crush's house. So when I gave up my story to you guys, when I broke my story to you guys, before that you are all hooked in different ways. Why? Because our common point is our crush now in our mind. So now we are all thinking about things that might giggle you, make you frustrated, ashamed of things or acts that you did around your crush.
Yeah, it directly takes you to that moment where this has happened. Yeah.
And that's what storytelling is about. So you need to see how you built up that relationship with the audience, how easy words can be chosen to share your feelings and emotions. And then you build up with more conversation of your story, but also in between you again make people, because people will lose interest after certain point when I'll say that my cycle got punctured uh, around the corner of my crush's house, and I did this, I did that, I do this, and this was her reaction. So this is my story being communicated, and after 2 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, people will start losing interest. I will again have to think of some other way which I which will bound the audience to me. So in this particular story context, we can do things like we can go on and start like my tire got punctured around the corner of my crush's house. She got out. Um, she saw me, and I was trying to hide behind a tree. That tree was a little skinny tree which could not even fit me behind it. I don't know how I was trying to hide my cycle behind it. And of course she knows my cycle because I have been going around her house a lot of times, waving at her sometimes. And I don't know whether she has waved back or not, because I just used to wave and go out. But today I'm ashamed, and I'm standing behind the tree with my cycle, don't know what to do, getting late for the school, while her father is getting out the scooty to drop her at the school. And then while this is happening, while her father is getting the scooty out, I see my friend coming. Now you know how our best friends work. They work on a very low thought, more action theory. They don't think, they just act. They are they can be a good role models. Our friends, our best friends can be good role model for Nike, but in a very bad way for us. They just do it. And this person had to do this to me. This person had to do this to me. You know the times when you feel very grateful that you had a friend. Well, this was not the time that I would feel grateful for my friend. I was trying to hide, but he, from the other side of my crush's house, started yelling and shouting my name. I was so ashamed. Now, when the part of describing a friend's, a best friend's role in our life was being shared, it was again a moment where we might be connecting to the weird things our friends do to make us feel ashamed or feel bad about different moments, times that we think we should disown them as friends. And this is a story I'm just building up right now. Okay, this is not something that happened with me. Um, because my crush was not in my school, like in the way. Her house was not on the way. But this relatability of the story has to be at different points. Now, one thing which actually builds up more in the story, with the shoulder of the story, which has the hook line, is when you talk about the negatives, the failures more. Try and experiment it with yourself. When you read a post where a person says, I got 500 rupees, versus when you see a post where a person says, I lost my 500 rupees. Mostly a person would be interested to see why the 500 rupee was lost, so that I don't do that thing. But gaining 500 rupees would be just a scroll for me, and I'll share to 4 5 people who are hustler kind of people. I'll go to 1 2 slides if it's a carousel, or I'll go to 5 seconds max. It's like, okay, I'm happy about it. So having this impact where there's a loss has more attraction to the people. And there are 4 A's for branding, marketing, and storytelling. These 4 A's we will cover in our next session. 4 A's for branding, marketing, and storytelling. Cool. Till the time, now that we have practiced, we have got, this was the copy practicing net session for everyone. We've practiced how to crack an insight, how to visualize it, and then write on it. I want you guys now, and this was a 10-minute process that we did for one brand and for one feature in one way. Anti-glare, benefit, okay. Anti-glare, when we did not wear an anti-glare glass, what happens? So there were 2 approaches: when we were wearing anti-glare and when we did not wear an anti-glare glass. Do this for Lenskart or Plants Guru or Yuva. Take up 3 brands, write about them, find insights, and then try to write copy of it as well. Perfect. It will not take like half an hour. In half an hour, if you sit very sincerely about it, in half an hour you can get like 20-22 insights आराम से यार, और उस पे कॉपी भी लिख लोगे आप आधे घंटे में. सो आधा घंटा तो आप निकाल सकते हो दिन का. सरस छे.
Yes, sir.
मिलते हैं नेक्स्ट सेशन में ऑन फ्राइडे. आओ जो.